Alright, I'm just gonna get this over with. Rock Band is still one of the most annoying games I've ever played. Guitars that barely function, drum sets that are really loud, and karaoke. Even Rock Band on the Wii, with its many shortcomings, still sold extraordinarily well. And Rock Band 2 is on the Wii to cash in. But I am really not looking forward to playing this guitar.
Dude, if you're having that much trouble, take an X-Lax. When watching a Rock Band animation, I can't help but wonder if this landscape was modeled after 10 miles outside of Reno. It certainly looks like it.
It requires a drum, microphone, and guitar controller to play. Rock Band 2 is compatible with most music game controllers.
This is the perfect marriage. A harmonics-developed game with a clicking guitar, the way things are supposed to be. Wait a minute, if the guitar works...
Wait a minute. I hate drums!
I think it's great they can choose what brand you want to use. Now, I'm not saying that more options is better. I'm saying better options is better. The idea that more is better is the logical fallacy that led us to Rock Band in the first place. Over the past year, I've been the subject of peripherals to death, so there isn't a whole lot left to say other than maybe, with Rock Band 2, I can finally sing Angry Linkin Park.
Shut up when I'm talking to you! Shut up!
And when I complained about not knowing any songs, I realized that I just wasn't being creative enough.
If you want, you can try an appetizer. Come sat alone on a bench in the park. My name is Forrest, he casually remarked. I don't know the rest of the words of the song.
EA, or Harmonix, or Pi, or whoever, actually put some effort into this game, as we now have the sorely missed character customization and tour mode. I did renounce my interest in character customization with Oblivion and Fallout 3, but Rock Band 2 actually does some things right. Instead of a billion sliders, they give you presets on what you could look like. This is not an error, I actually am this skinny. I recently got down to 98 pounds. I nearly jumped out of my skin when I learned that I could do tour. I mean, everybody else had fun with it. About an hour in, I was glad that my skin was still intact because I learned that anybody who likes this stuff has trisomy 21. That's, I'll just look it up. You see, the game has around 80 songs, and before I even left the United States, I played 107 gigs, which turned out to be playing 271 songs. Yeah, there's quite a bit of repetition in this game. And here I thought I had Stockholm Syndrome when everybody outcasted me for liking the one peripheral and linear setup of Guitar Hero 3. It all has a very World of Warcraft feel to it, where the gigs are itemized quests. And while we're on the subject, f*** World of Warcraft! It's probably evident by now that I'm backwards and trying to stay away from the multiplayer of this game. But my little sister in Missouri actually owns this game too, so we get to play together through the online tour. Since her name is Autumn, our band name is Fall Thunder. She says, Rock Band is cool. I just had two separate funny thoughts. First, I think we have yet to play Billy Idol's White Wedding. Second, if a person is halfway across the continent, I don't seem to have a problem with them. Downloadable content in a rhythm game is something I really don't care about, but it's a main selling point for Rock Band. When I first bought the game, there's nothing to download, which I guess means somebody had yet to walk over to the Nintendo server and kick it. So yeah, I guess you find a song that you like and you can download it onto your console, or you could just download it from Rhapsody, but you know, tomato tomato. I already paid $50 for something I intend to see the credits on. I don't want to pay to add fluff to the game. But it's just as I said, a service that you had to pay for caters to the rich. So you have to stand on the sidelines while your rich friends get to play Margaritaville by Jimmy Cirrhosis of the Liver Buffett. Besides, it all just sounds a little bit too much like the Protestant Reformation of 1517, and I just don't like that. Another interesting thing to note is I seem to do better on happy, upbeat songs. You see, I don't subscribe to the line of thinking that you have to have sad things in your life to appreciate what you have. I've already had enough doom and gloom in my life. I usually refer to it as ages 7 through 22. And since nowadays I have to resort to crying myself to sleep, I really don't need video games bringing me down. You know what else I don't subscribe to? The Irate Gamer. One question that I have to field all too much is why do I waste my money on all this? And the answer is simple. You! I have an audience, so I have to cover a variety of games. So it's because of you that I have 2 drum sets, 2 microphones, one of which is never used, and 6 guitars. So what game should you get? Well, for me it's Rock Band 2 because the game is amazing. That just means my expectations were very low going into it. Upon reflection, it's one of the best looking games on the Wii, which is saying a lot and not very much at the same time. Aside from that, the games are just becoming the same thing, so you'll probably have to make your decision based on the set list. Oh, that makes me so incredibly sad. But give Rock Band credit, they do mention Jesus quite a bit. Wait a minute, that's not right. This et al. Business is sort of a testament to how sometimes I really don't want to do reviews. Sometimes I'd rather sit around in my empty apartment and watch episodes of TNG. Sometimes I want to lick the rest of the cocaine off that DeBlob disc. But in the interest of not having to review another rhythm game for a while, I'm going to go through the rest of them from '08 right now. And please don't bother me with this "you forgot" business. For a moment, I'd like you to consider the fact that sometimes things can be purposely omitted from reviews. Samba de Amigo, a remake of a Dreamcast game. Shake your Wiimote and nunchuck like maracas to the rhythm of a song and... well, my arms haven't hurt this bad since the last time I played Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. I didn't really like this game because the rhythm area is way too small and all the songs started to sound alike after a while. I blame it on Sonic. The Dreamcast game came with electronic maracas, but if you want accessories with the Wii version, you just might have to improvise. The only saving grace is that the theme song seems to contain Neo's voice from when he's entering the Matrix. Brats Girls Really Rock. The title is a misnomer. The game is about going to Camp Sunshine, no I did not make that up, where you hit on boys and fight with other girls. The actual rhythm parts are agonizing. You only use 2 buttons, and for something really intense, you hit them at the same time. I need to quit playing before I lose any more self-respect. The Naked Brothers Band. I really got scared when I saw this title. My immediate thought was, gee, Nickelodeon sure has changed since I stopped watching it. The only thing more terrifying than the title is the cutscenes. Whenever people talk, they just sort of get stuck like they pulled every single muscle in their body at the same time. So I guess the show was interpreted into a game so you could play as the 6 different members of this band. Oh my god, is that kid still stuck? You have your standard bass, guitar, and drums, which requires a substantial amount of waggling. There's the keyboards, which I nearly went cross-eyed trying to learn to play. And it looks like they've hired Chunk to play the completely arbitrary instrument, the cello. Something that is unacceptable is the inconsistent frame rate. Developers, you need to run this on a higher priority thread than the rest of your interface. What's more is the rhythm system in this game is so loose that you can actually play notes out of order. And even if I found myself getting into a song, the frontman's prepubescent voice drove this game into unplayable territory. That's why I stay off of Xbox Live. Battle of the Bands. It's called that because you are literally fighting the other band. Now the gameplay isn't very enthralling and it kind of encourages stereotypes, but the game is worth owning because listening to the country version of Whoop There It is funnier than watching fat people fall on ice. Ultimate Band. Since this game is published by Disney, and since there's such an emphasis on a 4-part band, and since the character customization features all those stupid haircuts the kids have nowadays, I decided to make my band none other than mindless self-indulgence. Although the game seemed to have a problem when I tried to name my lead man Jimmy Urine. The production value is surprisingly high, and that's why it's such a kick in the groin when you find out that the gameplay is just Waggle Plus. Ultimate Band would have been so much better if it just used Guitar Hero instruments, but I think not having instruments was part of the software specifications from the very beginning. Guitar Hero Aerosmith, I already covered this. Guitar Hero On Tour and Guitar Hero On Tour Decades. No review, just advice. Buy headphones. Rock Revolution. Now I actually own this game on the Xbox 360 because I just happened to have an Explorer guitar. Back when I saw it at Comic-Con, here's my proof, I knew I had to do a review of it because it looked so bad. Well, the joke's on me because I think it's the best rhythm game in recent history. So many people are turned off by the fact that 95% of the songs are covers. To that I say, so f***ing what?
So f***ing what?
Guitar Hero 2 was loaded with covers and everybody loves that game. One of the reasons why the game is so awesome is because there's no option to sing. To some that would be a complaint, but to me that means that there's no option to annoy other people. I'm telling you, per capita, there are more rocking songs on Rock Revolution than any other game in 2008. Admittedly, a cover of Skater Boy isn't what I'd consider a rock legend, but it's way better than Feel the Pain or Santeria making me want to open up a frickin' vein, and I honestly don't understand why this is so hard for people to understand. It's not about musical taste, it's about rocking out. True, there is quite a bit of overlap between these games. Chop Suey's on Rock Band 2, Pull Me Under is on Guitar Hero World Tour, R-Truth is on all 3, Skater Boy is on Elite Beat Agents, but I like to think of it as Konami cherry-picking these songs. It's better than grabbing a handful of licenses and trying to sell the game on sheer quantity. Now if you try to hit me with this, well, Guitar Hero 2, better songs, and back then, and yeah, I will simply reply, SHUT UP! Whatever guys, I'm the proud owner of Rock Revolution. Wii Music.